They spend 20 years trying to get out of a small flat, and then they spend the rest of their life talking about it. It sounds mad the first time you hear it. Someone works and saves and grinds their way out of a damp one-bedroom with a radiator that clanks all night, and once they're finally out, once they've got the house and the space and the quiet, that flat is the thing they keep bringing up. Most people assume the goal here is obvious. Get the money, and everything gets better. Better food, better home, better sleep, better life. And a lot of that is true. Money fixes real problems, and anyone who tells you otherwise has never had their card declined in a queue. But something strange happens to a certain kind of person once they arrive. You see it in founders who sell the company, take the payout, and within a year they've rented a small office with folding chairs and started again from nothing. You see it in people who will never have to work another day, getting up at 6 because they want somewhere to be. You see it in someone who could live anywhere in the world, quietly driving back to the street they grew up on, just to sit outside the building for a minute. They're not confused. They know exactly how good their life is now. So why do they keep looking backwards? The answer has almost nothing to do with money. And once you see it, you'll understand something about your own life that most people only work out far too late. Here's the first thing. They don't miss being skint. They miss the flat being full. When you're broke, you live close to people. You share the rent because you have to. You share the sofa because there's one sofa. Someone is always in the kitchen. Someone always hears you come in. It's crowded and it's loud and there's nowhere to think. And you spend the whole time dreaming about having space. Then you get the space. 11 rooms and nobody in 9 of them. You can go an entire day inside your own home without hearing another human voice. And it turns out the thing you were calling cramped was actually company. Money buys you distance from other people. Nobody warns you that distance is the price. Here's the second thing. They don't miss the struggle. They miss being able to see themselves winning. When you have very little, progress is visible. The account goes from 40 pounds to 200 and you feel it in your chest. The fridge goes from empty to full and you stand there looking at it. You buy a proper winter coat and it genuinely changes your winter. Every step forward has a shape you can hold in your hands. Then the numbers get big. The account moves more in a morning than it used to move in a year, and you feel nothing at all. Not because you're ungrateful, because there's nothing left to measure it against. Being broke gave you a scoreboard. You'd have traded it in a heartbeat, and you were right to, but you should know when it's gone. Here's the third thing, and it's the one people admit last of all. They miss things mattering. One takeaway on a Friday night, when it's the only one you're getting that month, tastes like an event. You remember where you sat. You remember what everybody ordered. Now you can eat anywhere, any night. And by Wednesday, you can't remember Monday's dinner. It isn't that the food got worse. It's that waiting for something is what makes it feel like something. Scarcity was doing quiet work you never noticed until it stopped. Here's the fourth thing. They miss being needed. When nobody has money, people carry each other. You borrow a $5 until Friday. Someone's uncle has a van on moving day. Your mate fixes your laptop because he did a bit of IT once. You turn up for people constantly in small, unglamorous ways, and they turn up for you. Then you can afford to solve everything with a payment. You hire the movers. You call the professional. It's faster, it's cleaner, it works properly. And slowly, without anybody deciding it, nobody needs you, and you don't need anybody. Wealth doesn't take your people away. It just removes every reason you used to have to call them. And here's the last one. They miss having one direction. When you're broke, the goal writes itself. Get out, earn more, make rent, get the family somewhere better. You wake up knowing exactly which way you're walking, and there's a strange kind of peace in that, even when it's hard. Then you arrive, and every door is open. Any city, any career, any Tuesday. And 100 open doors can leave a person standing in the hallway for years, doing nothing at all. Now let's be honest about the part that usually gets left out. Nobody misses actual poverty. Nobody misses the letters they were afraid to open, or the shame at the till, or watching a parent do sums at the kitchen table at midnight. That wasn't character building. That was just hard. What they miss came packaged with it by accident. Closeness, visible progress, small things mattering, being needed, one clear direction. Being broke handed all of that over for free, and nobody mentioned it was a package deal. So when the money finally arrives and lifts the hard part away, it lifts the rest away with it. And people spend years wondering why the good life feels quieter than they expected. Here's what that actually means for you. You are not meant to stay broke. That is not the lesson. Go and get the money, all of it, as fast as you honestly can. Just understand this before you get there. Everything being broke gave you for nothing, you will have to choose on purpose later. You'll have to fill the space instead of enjoying the quiet. You'll have to set goals you don't need so there's still a scoreboard. You'll have to make yourself wait for things you could have today. You'll have to keep turning up for people who don't need your help, because the turning up was never really about the help. That's the whole difference between someone who gets rich and someone who gets rich and stays whole. They don't miss being broke. They miss who they were when they had nothing but each other.